we've already talked a little bit about this in a previous one, but I think we've kind of expanded, and I know Stephen has taken this and even built a little bit more on this. But this is back for their kind of production management application, and there was a lot of requirements here that were pretty spiderwebby, I guess is a good term. But essentially, we've got a lot of people who are technology averse, so training is difficult. We had a lot of productions being done in 100 odd different languages, and not everybody is speaking the same language who's interpreting and directing and inviting and doing auditions. So there was a lot of different moving parts here, and so we kind of settled on this solution. And Brandon, Mac, and Callie, feel free to chime in if you have anything else to say, kind of about why we went this direction. But essentially, we are providing email templates inside of an actual record. So our language record becomes kind of a hybrid kind of configuration record on things that are going out to different interpreters and kind of not judges, but audition coordinators and audition judges. So I'll give you an invitation. So this is an example. This is the Spanish language, and we've got a lot of different fields here that are going to be pulled into a lot of different emails that are going out. So we've got thank you emails, emails with no response, emails with updated information in their portal, different invitations, confirmations, right, and so on. One of the big requirements we had, which is one of the reasons we went this way, is because we are using this connector, which apparently we named this one. Maybe this will work.
It's a good name.
It's a good name.
I hope it works.
It works on the first try. But this is the email with options connector from Outlook. And so this sends an email. I don't have an example, but essentially sends an email with buttons embedded in the email. So you can respond directly inside of the email, similar to like the flow approvals if you get those emails as well. But this is done through Outlook, and there's a lot of customization options here. So we've got to subject, the different options. I'm not sure exactly how many options you can put inside an email, but this is just a comma separated list. So when we look back at our record here, we've got, actually this is going to be on.
And I forwarded you an example of what it looks like, Kevin.
Oh, perfect. Oh, in my email forward. So here's an example of what it might look like. We've got buttons embedded in the email here for, quick response, so that we're not required to go to any external. Originally, the plan was to have these people go to the portal and approve or not approve an interpreter from there. And so this is some kind of ecclesiastical approval. But it's nice to be able to do this directly inside the email. And you can see here, let me see if I can do some Windows work. There we go. So we've got all these different options here. So if this was to be sent to Brandon in Spanish, we would see these aprobado instead of approved, or no aprobado instead of not approved. And so this is dynamic based on what language this is going out. And the language this is going out in is actually designated on Brandon's interpreter record. Another kind of requirement we had was to have some kind of dynamic content inside of the emails. So you can see anywhere we built them these kind of curly bracket dynamic content things as well, which is probably up here. Yeah, you can see we've got some functions to replace a lot of different things, so they don't have to worry about trying to send out individual emails. We'll pull this from the actual interpreter record. And the nice thing is this rich text editor as well comes through into Flow as HTML. So, they have the opportunity to use this WYSIWYG editor and to really be precise about kind of the communications they want to see. There's a lot of different user groups here. So, I mean, the two guys that run this, Rick and Nick, they, aren't creating all of these records. They've got to dish out a lot of these translations into all these different languages. We've got to have, all of these emails in all these different languages. So it helps to have all those different users who can come in and manage all these. And where's Spanish go? I think we've got some other, yes, we've got, dynamic email as well, dynamic links to the portal that all gets replaced inside of Flow. So we had a lot of manipulation inside of Flow, inside these emails that didn't quite work inside of kind of the normal CRM email templates. And I know that, I don't know if Steven took some of this. I know we talked about it, but I know Steven's got some pretty slick email stuff as well. But any questions?
If I would have known this before I started, this would have been very helpful.
But I don't know, Mac, Brandon, Callie, anything to add to this? Any questions about why we went this direction? About kind of the mechanics here?
I think kind of the I just think that the big thing is that the end users can manage all of this really without much of our involvement. And all they're doing is modifying records and data, which is the nice part. They don't got to go into a flow. They don't got to go into a workflow. It's just, it's just data on a record, and then they can test it, and then, they're done, and they can forget about it.
It's really easy to train because then they have to train people in this in a lot of different languages as well, which they don't speak all these languages. So this makes it easy.
Yep. And even troubleshooting it too. So, for example, if the language doesn't have any templates for that specific type set, it'll default to English. And it makes it to where the end user can troubleshoot. Like, hey, I sent out this email. It didn't go out in the right language. Oh, I go look at the template. Oh, there is no template here. Now I know I need to go request one from interpretation, and so on and so forth. And so it just kind of puts them in the driver's seat where they're managing everything in one place. The interpreters, the languages, the templates, and cross your fingers, it just works.
The emails getting sent, is it using Dynamics SMTP services, or are you using a third-party SMTP server?
This is going to be sent through Outlook, so I think it's just through their Exchange.
Okay, so
Yeah.
You're sending it using Outlook. Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of the other ones is the ones that don't have email with options. They're just using the normal Dynamics. We're creating an email message and sending it.
Okay, so that's why you probably approached it this way. It makes perfect sense.
Exactly, because it was a pain. Kind of wish I remember all the pain points I ran into, but
there's a lot of pain. We've blocked it out.
Sending it out from CRM?
The dealing with dynamic CRM email templates and dynamic content. Like it
because
was
you have
hard.
limitations. You have limitations on the number of entities you can build email templates for, right? And also how to pull dynamic in your handlebars. It's almost like impossible. Almost. Looks like you did it.
Yeah, and doing the dynamic portal URLs and links for registrations and dynamic pages was also really tough in the email template, the out of the box email template. So that's what kind of why we went this route too.